Hey friends, welcome back to another video. I don't even know if my collar is fixed. Welcome back to another video. I have a repot and story time for you today. I have not done one of these in so long, but today is the day that I'm going to tell you about my dream disaster wedding. Vince? Yeah? When did we get married again? Not like actually married, but the wedding, the disaster wedding? June.
So July 23rd, 2016 is when we got legally married. July 3rd, 2017 was the California wedding.
You know I'll never remember these dates, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
I know, it's very true. Thank you. So yeah, this happened in 2017, so it's been quite some time now, but I'm ready to tell the story. I think I processed the trauma. But it took us a long time to pay off this wedding. Let's just say that. But I have a bunch of things to repot today. I have a whole list of things. I don't know if I'm going to get through all of them, but we will try. I think I'm gonna start with my pond plants first, just because. I actually prepared a bunch of pond here from my last video, and I guess we'll try and see how many I can get repotted because this is not going to be enough for everything that I see here. So, okay, the only thing is, where did my, oh, it went here. Oh, here, sorry, I just short-circuited. There's akadama mixed into, there's akadama mixed into this batch here, and I do need to mix more. Actually, I think I should be fine. I'm just gonna mix this. A lot of these plants are pretty big, so yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, by the way, this is akadama. The one that I have is from Crystal Star Nursery. They do ship Canada and US wide, and this is really good for moisture retention. It's used primarily in the bonsai hobby. It's also very pretty. I think I'm gonna start with this super easy one, but all of this is blocking my, I think I'm gonna move this behind me. I have most of the things that I'm repotting here. So the first one is gonna be very, very easy. These are just props from my variegated hederaceum, hederaceum. And I think they're all rooted now at this point. It's been quite some time, and these ones are going to be sold. So I think, did I sell my last pot? I thought that I had one pot for sale. Oh yeah, I could see it down there. It didn't sell in my last live sale, but I'm still clinging on to hope that people are looking for it, because I don't know why. I feel bad throwing this one out. It's just really pretty. So let me just separate this one Cissus quadrangularis from it, which is also rooted now. Beautiful. If you guys have a Cissus, my stomach. If you guys have a Cissus quadrangularis, whether you got it from me or not, water propagation is going to be your best friend. Also, I am still sick. I have an x-ray. I have an x-ray tomorrow, and hopefully I can rule out pneumonia and RSV. I really just think it's the flu, so that's what I'm going with. But of course, I just wanna make sure. I am checking this for spider mites. Honestly, I might give this a rinse under the, actually no, I might just spray these. I have a mixture of tea tree castile soap and water, and I've just been like wiping down all of my plants with this, like as often as possible to keep things kind of under control. But I think I can make like 2 pots of this. I think putting all of this in one pot might be a little bit of an overkill. So I have 2 of them that actually didn't propagate, which is fine because I've got more than enough. And my main plant is like humongous. I need to chop it again. And my nose is running. I should have brought my tissue in here. So I guess we will start at the very beginning. I do have some notes written down in my phone just because, again, this happened in 2017. It's been some time. I don't remember all of the little details off the top of my head, so I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Keep in mind, I'm not the best person telling stories while I'm doing something. I lose my train of thought really easily, so hopefully I can kind of keep it together today. So going back to 2017, my husband and I, we at that time were already married because we had gotten legally married the year before. Just our closest friends and our immediate families were there, just because we had to get the immigration process started. I was living in California still, and then we had planned for the next year to be like the big celebration. So already married, but still doing long distance. And I had envisioned sort of this like outdoors in the middle of the forest, like really secluded kind of wedding where we wouldn't be bothered by other guests or people at a venue. Like I wanted it to just be the wedding. And it was tricky finding something like this in our budget because we were working with somewhat of a smaller budget. You know, I wanted to still have enough money to get settled literally in a new country. I was preparing for moving costs, and I didn't want to splurge on this wedding. Let's just say that. I wasn't the type of person who ever had like a dream wedding in mind, and like, first off, I never thought I was gonna get married, and second, I just wasn't one of those people that was like, it has to be perfect, it has to be like this. But I did have sort of a vision for it. And the main reason I wanted to have a wedding, honestly, was kind of just to say bye and have like one last get together to, I don't know, it was almost like my send-off because I was gonna be moving to Canada. And so that was important to me to just have like one last hurrah. And I don't know, at that point I didn't think we were gonna have kids, and so I'm like, well, if we're gonna do something that's just for us, like we might as well not go all out, but just have like the celebration that we want. And so yeah, think outdoorsy, sort of like camping vibes. And so I found this one venue somewhere called Clear Lake, California. This is Clear Lake. I had never heard of Clear Lake before. I didn't even know that there was a lake out here, but it's this very interesting little city. And I want to say this and tread very carefully when I talk about Clear Lake. So Clear Lake is not a place of luxury. It is not a place that is very, I want to say even like family friendly. And I will say that when I did find my venue and I was driving into the city for the first time, like I was like, oh, okay, I can see what they're talking about. But all of that aside, I am not like turned off by that at all. I don't judge, it's whatever. I find this venue and it was owned by this guy named Ken, and he literally just had this property up in like his own, literally like his own mountain. It was his property, and it was this, I think it was like a three-mile drive up this one-way mountain. And you get to his property and he has these like little cabins, he has like little yurts, and you could basically stay there he had these packages where you could stay there for the week with your, your bridal party or whoever. And I think you could host up to like 60 people. And it was really cool. There was like running water, there was electricity, there were like outdoor baths. And I was like, man, that would be so cool to like, because I love going camping and I usually camp every year. And I'm like, I would be able to camp and have the wedding at this place. And we could have like all of Vince's friends and family come from Canada. We would pay for it, obviously. We would put them up at this site. My family could stay there, and like we could all just like literally hang out for a week or however long, like a few days, right? I reached out to Ken and was like, I am interested in having a wedding here and also hosting for the week. Can I book a visit? I saw like the description of what the winding road was, but I just wanted to make sure that it was going to be safe. I wanted to know what we were getting into and like getting our guests into. So I made the trek out there. I went there by myself. And yeah, it was literally the scariest little like dirt path where you could fit like 1.5 cars. There was like different places where you could pull off so that you can let another car pass, but for all intents and purposes, it was a one-way road, and there was no like guardrail or anything. It was just like a drop. But you know, I felt like it was fine because I could trek it. It was safe enough in my opinion, and I was planning to have a shuttle anyway because on his website he had advertised that he works with a specific shuttle company that like knows the area, knows that mountain, and they could shuttle guests throughout the duration of your wedding, whether they needed to leave early, whatever it be, and there was parking down at the bottom of the mountain. And so I'm like, oh, that's perfect. Like I would not be putting anyone at risk or in danger because he has a shuttle service. So that part was already like put at ease, or that issue is put at ease, and I just wanted to see the property. I wanted to make sure that it was going to be comfortable enough for everyone that was going to be coming down, because like how much of a disaster would that have been if, you know, I never went to see it. We all got there and it was just terrible conditions. People are coming from Canada. I'm like, we don't need any disaster. So yeah, I checked the place out. Everything seemed fine. It was beautiful. I fell in love with it. I pretty much knew right away that I wanted to book this venue. I saw it, I came home, I told Vince like it's perfect, it's in our price range, and yeah, we should book it. So literally, I think it was the next day he sent over the contract and we signed our life away. This place, I think the capacity was 50 people. It can house 50 people. I don't remember how many cabins, how many yurts there were, but I remember that everyone that we wanted to be there to stay for the week could be there. We booked this about a year in advance because I just wanted that dealt with and done. I didn't want to have to worry about it. And because we were having our wedding in the summer, like a lot of places, especially in California, book really fast. Okay, all of these are wiped down, and now I'm going to just kind of divide it so that I can make 2 pots. I could probably even make 3, to be honest, but I don't want to have 3 pots of this. Oh gosh, I've had a sneeze stuck in my nose for like 15 minutes. I was trying to sneeze before I started filming and it wouldn't come out. I think I'm just gonna put these in like little cups, and I'm not gonna do anything fancy because I'm selling them. I don't really want to use my good, I don't really want to use my good pond for this. I'm almost thinking I'm just gonna put it in perlite. It's probably gonna dry out really fast. So really throughout the year, the planning process is going fine in terms of everything. The DJ, MC, food, it was all covered. It was, I mean, yeah, it was stressful, but my best friend like really came through for me, and she planned a good portion of it. And yeah, it wasn't bad, like just like the normal wedding stress, but I really did not want to stress about it a lot. I feel like my best friend stressed about the wedding planning more than I did, honestly. I was kind of just like, yeah, sure, whatever, sounds good. It really wasn't until it started getting really close that everything just kind of just took a nosedive toward hell. That's all I can say. And honestly, I should have been expecting it, because really nothing in my life is ever that straightforward and easy. Like there's always the but, or like the gotcha, right? Up to that point, everything was kind of just like falling into place and going off without a hitch, which should have been my first red flag. But, you know, I didn't want to overthink it. I'm like, a win is a win. I'll take a win. It's fine. 2 weeks before the wedding, I get an email from Ken, the venue, and he's like, hey, can we get on a call sometime today? And I'm thinking, okay, well, it's 2 weeks out. Maybe he just needs to like hammer out some small details, whatever. I don't owe him any money at this point, so I knew it wasn't about that. But like he kind of made it seem like it was urgent, like we had to talk today. So I'm at work, and I was working in an office at this point. I was working in a brokerage. And I just told my boss, like, hey, can I need to take this phone call really quick. So I get on a call with Ken, and he's like, hey, don't panic. The wedding is still on. The wedding is fine. But the city has a new like person that is in charge of licenses for events in the city of Clear Lake. There's a new person and he has it out for me. He's wanted to shut me down since day one. And I was like, okay. And he said, basically, we can't host you guys for the week. He's pulled my permit in terms of it being able to be like a lodging area. So you guys are gonna have to find somewhere to stay for the week. And I was like, okay. I immediately tried to not panic because he said, the wedding is fine, the wedding is still on, no issue there. And I said, are you sure the wedding is gonna be fine? The day of wedding is gonna be fine, there's no issues with permits, licenses, whatever. He said, no, it's just the lodging. So I get off the phone with him and immediately just panic sets in because I'm like, we have about 30 people coming from out of town. Keep in mind, Clear Lake is in the middle of but nowhere, like literally in the middle of nowhere. Even if you're from California, I can guarantee a majority of them have never heard of Clear Lake before because you literally trek into the middle of absolute nowhere to get there. And I'm thinking, okay, we have people coming from Canada, we have people coming from Washington, from Portland, like the people are coming. Like we told them that they had somewhere to stay for the week. So they made accommodations to fly in and to be at this venue for the entire week, not worrying about and we made that clear, like, you don't owe us anything, nothing. And so many of them had offered, like, can I just give you something for lodging? Like, it doesn't seem fair. And we're like, no, like, we want you guys to be there. We want to spend time with you. Please just come. So I'm talking to Vince about it and I'm like, what do we do? How are we gonna house all these people? We just go into panic mode and he's like, well, I'm not going to ask our friends and family to like pay for lodging for the week. And that's like a major expense that we're throwing on them last minute. Rates are already so high. So we just made the mutual decision that we were going to pay for everyone's lodging for the week. So what we did was we compiled a list of every hotel, motel, B&B anywhere within like a 5-mile radius of the venue, and we booked every single room they had left because this is a small city. It's not like they have huge hotels. Like a lot of the motels and hotels are like 8-room capacity, 10-room capacity. Like it's very small. And we literally booked every last room in the city for that weekend. You guys, we were hemorrhaging money. Like we were hemorrhaging it. So basically, we had told all of the people that were planning to come what the situation was. A lot of them, most of them, were able to change their flights to not come in so early. So they changed their flight to literally come in like that day of the wedding or like the day before. So we didn't have to like book the entire week, which was great. But for the people that couldn't change their flights or like they'd have to pay like an astronomical amount to change their flights, we said, just stay with me at my parents' house, because at the time my parents were living in this really big house. It was literally 7 bedrooms, 5,000 square feet or 5,500. It was a big house. Like my parents had a massive house. And like we'll just put up everyone that can't change their flight. So again, booked every single hotel room that was available in the city for that weekend, Friday to Sunday, and then had to prep the house for people to come from Canada and from out of state to stay at my parents' house. Again, hemorrhaging money. Like I think we had like I think it was $15,000 that we had set aside for this wedding. Like that was our budget, like our max budget. But after paying for all those hotel rooms for the weekend, booking so last minute, we had to spend like I want to say we spent another 10 grand on hotel rooms. So that was not fun. You were like maxing out credit cards. It was wild. But I was in like fight or flight mode that I wasn't even like thinking about how long it was going to take me to pay off all of this extra stuff, right, that we did not plan for. Yeah, I had a cushion. I had a cushion fund of like maybe 2 to 3 grand just in case something went wrong, but I certainly was not expecting to shell out another 10 grand of money we did not have. So, okay, we averted that crisis. I mean, it was bad, but we got through it and somehow, you know, booked enough rooms for everyone to have somewhere to stay the night of the wedding and the day after if their flight wasn't leaving until like Monday or something. So just coordinating that. I remember having a spreadsheet of every single guest, their flight, when they were coming in, when they were going out, figuring out which hotel had a room for them to stay in for those days. It was crazy. So these two are done. Easy peasy. I hope that someone buys this, please. I don't need any more variegated hederaceum. My main pot is already so big. I might try Marketplace for this one first. It's just really, guys, it's really hard to sell stuff locally. I'm not joking. And then I just need to quickly pot up this Cissus quadrangularis. I kind of wish I had cut this in like a few, well, I wish I would have cut it like at all of the knuckles so that they could have all pushed out its own growth point, because now I just have this like Harry Potter wand, and this is going to be such a headache to ship. Again, might try this on Marketplace before anything, but it's such a cool plant. I always push this plant onto people. I'm like, listen, I know it looks kind of weird, but hear me out. I wish potting up was this easy all the time. All right, order of importance. This one I have been wanting to get out of LECA, even though it's actually been growing quite well in LECA. This is one of my favorites right now. This is another xdressleri hybrid. This is a carlaxpap crossed with a dress. I got this one from Sabrina. She sent this to me as a little care packet, or she sent this to me in a little care package the last time I was in California, and I did not realize how good this plant was gonna be. Like, look at how beautiful. Like, I love the skinny leaf. The venation is beautiful. It's got that like starburst sinus. The sheen on it is incredible. It looked very pappy, like the younger leaves. I think this might have been the original leaf that she sent me, but I was like, oh, it's probably gonna look really pap, but I can definitely see Dress and Carla. So I just love when you hybridize a plant and it shows you like some of like the best features of each parent, even though it's a more complex hybrid. So much fun. It's been growing fine in LECA, but I don't know how to fertilize in LECA. So I feel much better about doing a pond conversion for this. And I think it's gonna go really great in pond. I even thought about using Mineral Magic from Crystal Star, but I think I'm gonna reserve most of my Mineral Magic for my alocasia. Beautiful root system. LECA roots are just so delicious. It could probably use something a little bigger, but at the same time, I don't wanna overdo it. Actually, I think that this size is gonna be better, a 6-inch. LECA down at the bottom to cover these drainage holes. I think I'll try and see if Alice or Jing has landscape fabric, because since I'm switching to these pots from the square pots, I'm gonna need landscape fabric again for plants that I don't wanna put LECA down at the bottom. Otherwise, this pond is just gonna fall right through. Okay, where was I in this story? I don't want this to be like a 2-hour long video. I don't want it like you guys have to sit here for 2 hours just to hear this one story, but it's hard to focus. Okay. The next pressing issue outside of the lodging situation was the shuttle. So remember, like I said, it's this winding road. Well, first off, there's not enough parking at the top of the the top of the mountain for that many cars. I think we could only fit like 12 cars in their lot, and most of them would probably be ours. We had to have a shuttle. And since he pulled the lodging license, he also said that he wouldn't be able to shuttle for whatever reason. He like had mentioned, oh yeah, we can't have you guys stay there for the week, and also the shuttle is no longer available. He said this through email. He didn't say it on the phone, he said it through email. So after we had figured out the lodging situation, this was the next thing. We're like, okay, I feel like he's just pulling everything that our package came with. We have about a week until the event. So I'm at work, frantic again. And I'm like, how am I gonna find a shuttle company, one, in Clear Lake, California, where it's like population 10. And if I do find a shuttle company, they're probably gonna charge me like up the ass to get all the way to Clear Lake. It was not gonna be easy to try and find a shuttle company. I had contacted a few places, most of them out of our price range, a lot of them that said we can't service Clear Lake. And if we did service you would have to end your event like way earlier so that our drivers could get back to Sacramento or whatever in a reasonable amount of time. And the wedding was from like, I think we had it from like 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. was cocktail hour, 2 p.m. and then it ended at like 10 or I don't even think we had an ending time, honestly. So then I went on Craigslist and I found this ad, and it was the shortest ad. It said shuttle service, phone number, address. And I'm like, yo, this is sketchy. So then I go on Google Earth or Google Maps and I Google this address, and it's like this random, there were like all of these, you know, those shipping containers? There were all of these shipping containers and then like these white vans. And it kind of looked like they had like a shop, like a little like auto shop or something. But I told my mom, like, this looks sus, this looks sketchy, but I'm running out of options. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna go here on lunch, like, this is the address. She's like, I'm coming with you. Like, I am not letting you go there by yourself. So I text Vince, I'm like, I think I found a shuttle company that might do it. Like, we're gonna go there during lunch. If I don't text you by this time, call 911 and tell them that me and my mom are at this location. We drive up, and immediately me and my mom are like, we're not coming out of this. We are going to be dragged into some like underground lair. Something bad is gonna happen. It was so sus. There were like sus people like standing on the corner. They were like watching us as we were driving by. It was so scary, and it was like in a bad part of town. So desperation, right? I was in fight mode. I wasn't in flight, I was in fight mode. I'm like, I'm gonna pull this together. This wedding is happening. I have spent too much time, too much money. It's gonna happen. So park the car. We walk into like their little auto shop. I think his name was like Alex or something. It's something with an A. And I was like, I'm just gonna call him Alex. I was like, I'm looking for Alex. Nobody said anything. And then I pulled up my phone, like the Craigslist ad, and then this guy comes out from the corner, and then he's just like, follow me. And I was like, okay. We go like way past like all the cars, all past these shipping containers, and then all of a sudden there's this one shipping container with a door in it, and I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna take us in here. So he opens the door and it's just dark, and I just see a hallway, and I'm like, okay, so they converted this shipping container to be an office. But it was weird because you went like downstairs. I'm like, how am I going downstairs in a shipping container? Anyway, I wasn't questioning it. Me and my mom are like holding hands and I have like 911 on speed dial, literally on my phone. He like leads us down into this hallway. We go right into an office, and it just reeks of weed. Again, no judgment. I partake occasionally, but you know, I was like, it's not very profesh. But on the wall was a dartboard, a calendar of a half-naked woman like in a bikini. There was a whiteboard and something else. I can't remember, but I just remember looking around and I'm like, I'm gonna remember everything that I can about this place in case something happens. So then this guy comes in. He is high as hell. He's so high, his eyes are barely open. And he just sits down, or he comes in, he's like, hi, I'm Alex, and sits down, and then is like, he was just like, you need a shuttle. And I was like, yeah, I told him the situation. Didn't seem very interested in the story. He was like, when is it? What time? Like, what time do you need us there? So he's just writing all of this down on a Post-it, right? Literally, like the tiniest little Post-it. And I was like, so can you do it? And he's like, yeah, we'll be there. And I was like, okay. Should I sign? Like, is there a contract? Do you need a deposit? Anything? And he's like, no deposit, no contract. And I was like, okay, so is there a phone number? He was like, no, you don't need our phone number. We'll meet you at the hotel. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna leave here without a phone number, without a contract, without anything, and just hopes and dreams that you're gonna show up. So we leave, and my mom is like, are you sure they're gonna show up? Like, he is high as heck. I don't even know if he comprehends what's happening. I said it like 3 times. I'm like, you realize it's in Clear Lake, California. I was like, far, it's very far from here. And he's just like, yeah, not a problem, like no problem. Like he was just very like dismissive. It's almost like he just wanted the info and wanted me to get the hell out of there. And I mean, I wanted to get the hell out of there. I was like scared we weren't ever gonna see the sunlight again. And the whole time, like his dude, his like, I don't know, bodyguard or something, he was like standing at the door like this, just like watching. And I'm like, bro, something sketchy's going on down here. We leave, and me and my mom are just quiet. We don't feel good about this. There's no contract. I don't have this guy's number. I don't know anything. The only number that I had was from Craigslist, but that was the shop, whatever shop he worked at. It wasn't like his personal line. Imagine the stress of knowing that I have like 120 something guests that are expecting a shuttle service from this specific parking lot up to the venue. If we don't have a shuttle, we don't have a wedding. We're screwed. We would have to use one of our cars. Like, we would end up having to shuttle people, and we would have to think of this on the fly if they didn't show up. And I don't feel good that there's no contract. He didn't take any money from me, so he's not obligated to me for anything. I didn't pay him anything. I was telling Vince about this whole situation. He was just like, what? I'm like, I know, and I don't know who else to go to. Nobody wants to come to Clear Lake. It's a disaster. So he's like, okay, it's fine. You did what you did. If the shuttles don't show up, then we figure it out the day of. And that's what we were leaving it at. This one is done. I just need to find, I need to find a cover pot for it. This might be too big or too small. It's fine. I actually quite like when it, okay. I don't like when that happens. But I like when it's usually just like, it's like just floating on top like this. And there's like a little bit of space down here. That one's done, thank goodness. Let's see, the next one, I did that one. Oh, wendlingeri. Yeah, you know what, I should do this. I really didn't want to, but it's not looking very good. And it hasn't grown at all in this substrate. So this is my wendlingeri from Alice. I don't know the origins of her wendlingeri, but this is not happy. Honestly, this one might end up being a rehab one that I just stick in perlite, but we will see once I get it unpotted. Okay, so shuttle. Was not sure what was happening. I was just honestly hoping for the best. I was just praying that they would show up and they were not gonna leave me high and dry. But you know, you never know. Everything was already kind of going wrong, so I'm like, just add another thing. This one has grown into the bottom, but I can see some like dry roots down at the bottom. Oh my gosh, this root system looks cock-a-poo-poo. This looks terrible. I already knew this one was not doing well for a long time and I just kept ignoring it. Lots of rotted roots, lots of like new root growth, but I don't think that this new root growth has been contributing to the health of the plant at all. But I am gonna do quite a bit of root trimming because this is dry rot when it's like hollowed out like this. I don't want to spill this. If you've never seen dry rot before, this is what dry rot looks like. It kind of just leaves this like casing, this like dry casing. So that means it dried out and then I watered it again and then it got soaked, got like drenched. Like, look at this. It's like the tissue of the root. Whereas like wet, oh my, look at that. Oh, it's completely dry. Okay. Is this plant alive still? Oh, this growth point is completely, it's dead. I wonder if this plant is still alive on the inside. The way you can check is by chopping it, cutting it open. It's hollow, it's dried out. Yeah, look, there's no tissue in there. How is this leaf? Well, I guess it's dying off. I'm gonna cut this off because this is a rehab now. Okay, I see some healthy tissue, but it kind of looks like it's like drying out from the center. I don't even know if there's any axillary points on this, to be honest. I don't know if it's worth saving. Yeah, if I want another one of this, I can just ask her for a cutting. I think I'm gonna chuck this. It looks like it's pretty dry from like, there's like this little, like in the center there. It's really hard to tell on camera. So the tissue on the outer area is like fleshy and like alive, but this center is just dry. It's so dry. It's basically like dying from the inside out, if that makes sense. Okay, well, I'm not surprised because that has been on its deathbed for way too, I just, you know, when you put it off for too long, that's what happens. Well, since I'm not doing that wendlingeri, I think I'll do, my narrow pally has been growing fine in soil, but I don't know, I've just thought that this would do really well in lechuzapan. This is the newest leaf on it. Skinny Minnie, we love to see it. She's so cute. I chopped off a bunch of leaves because they were just super yellow. Look at this, look at this stem. It's so long. I don't even know how I'm gonna repot this, what I'm gonna put it in. I don't know, I don't have a plan. I just have a dream and no plan. Okay, so one thing that you should know about pallies is that the stem, because of the nature of the way it like hangs over, it's very, very delicate and it snaps so easily, especially in the areas that are a lot skinnier. So as the plant is maturing, the stem is getting thicker, but where it starts here at the base, it's very, very thin. So one wrong move and I could snap this entire thing. So I have to be very careful. This one is living in no drainage and it's been fine. Oh my gosh, I forgot I just watered this. There's like so much water. Crap. I heard something snap. Oh, it's the leaf. I could probably just chop this leaf off actually. So now we are in the week of the wedding. Vince's family and friends had come in from Canada. They're staying at my parents' house. It was fun actually, being at my parents' house. They were just like playing video games and we were drinking and yeah, it was a good time. And then 2 days before the wedding, the venue texted me and was like, can we get on a call? I told Vince, I'm like, Ken wants to talk. I was like, this is it. He's gonna pull the venue. I just know it. And I immediately like start welling up. I wasn't like full on sobbing yet, but I was like already in a panic. He's gonna pull the venue. I know it. There's no reason he should be calling me. So I call him and I'm like, don't say it, Ken, don't. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I am not okay. This is ruining me. I haven't slept. I was really, really fighting for this. He's like, but I can't have your wedding at the venue anymore. At this point, I was so defeated and I was just tired. It's been one thing after another and I feel like I've tried to like keep it together and not freak out and not panic. But at this point, 2 days before the wedding, we already have people from Canada in California and I hand the phone to Vince and I just start sobbing. Like I could not be on the phone with him anymore. I was like, I don't want to talk to him. He had reassured us that the permit for the venue was not going to be pulled. I get it. He was frustrated too, but like, come on, man. Like, It's 48 hours. It's not even, it was like less than 48 hours from the wedding. He's like, here's the thing though, is I have a friend down the street who has a house with a big backyard, and he says he'd be more than happy to let you guys have the wedding there. And I was like, perfect. So we're gonna do a little house party at your friend's house down the street. No idea what this place looks like. He's like, trust me, like the venue is really nice, and he's never done a wedding there before, but he says, you know, you guys are more than welcome to come. And I'm gonna do some root trimming because I can see a lot of dead roots, but I'm gonna I'm gonna wash this first because it's actually quite dirty. I'm bringing Vince in for moral support. So I just cleaned off the pally. I'm gonna start root trimming while I'm talking, and then we'll get it potted up.
So what part of the trauma are we at?
the part of the trauma that we're at is when Ken just dropped the bomb that the venue is no longer available. So he sent us pictures. I told them, oh yeah, you can have your wedding at my friend's house down the street. Oh yeah, friend's house, that's great, amazing. Like, I feel so comforted. So was it the pictures he sent us, or my cousin had looked into this address and she sent us pictures? I'm gonna try and insert something here, but either way, when we were sent the pictures, I freaked out. I just was bawling. I was crying my eyes out. All I remember is Vince, sweet Vince, I was sitting on a chair, he like got on his knees and he like hugged me, and he said, you said, doesn't matter where we get married as long as like I'm with you. And I was like,
that's very sweet, but I'm freaking out.
Love ya, but we need to figure out what's happening. So the pictures.
When I look back at the emails from Ken, it seemed like he sent a few photos, like just a small handful. A couple of them were like, okay. But then one was just of this sort of like back shed area.
It was
a
literal shed with like hose and rakes.
We have the photo, so hopefully you can like insert it here. Now, I kind of want to start off this section by saying, to our good friend John, whose property this was, I am so sorry. We are not trying to disparage your venue. Honestly, you know, we'll get to the good stuff. The good part, But just, disclaimer, this is not meant in any way to
if John is watching, you know how we feel about you and your amazing property, but this is the first impression that we had. Exactly,
and this is like the immediate aftermath of being told for the first time what was going to happen, and you know, for Ken, I presume, you know, he either went with, I don't know if he had these photos on hand for some reason, or if he just like dropped by really quick to snap a few things and to be able to send
quick, like he was like running and taking them because like boom, 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 boom. All right, this is your venue. Because I'm just like, what am I looking at here? So like one of the main photos was of this, what is it, like a barn area?
Like the best thing I could call it is like, maybe a back like barn or shed type area, which
it looked like a shed.
The beginnings or makings of a place that could be usable, but you know, it just clearly obviously wasn't putting this property in the best light by sending such a photo. And fast forwarding like a tiny bit, like I'm pretty sure we ended up either not at all using that part of the property, or like freaking, it was, I think maybe on the way to one of the restrooms. Exactly.
It was
so
just
like,
the bathroom.
You know what I mean? So if you're trying to make people feel better about this brand new venue they have to use, like, why are you sending that?
Yeah, and so, and if you keep in mind what like our original vision was for the wedding, it was like woods and outdoorsy and the stars and the moon. Like I had not ever once even considered like a barn type country backyard wedding. Like it just was not, that was just not something I had ever.
And none of our decorations would have had any.
No. Oh yeah. So our decorations were very like, what was it? Like we used like Persian rugs, and we used like lots of like wax candles, and I'll throw in, no, I don't want to spoil it yet. That was like my vision. Thrifted a lot of stuff. There was no like main theme. It was just, I don't know, just like a collection of stuff that I liked. but it did not match the barn theme at all. These are the photos we get. I am just beside myself. I'm like, how are we gonna pull this off? Number one, we have to change everything. The seating chart is no longer, that's a wash because the table situation is not the same. We have to text or call everyone. So it was my sister's job, she was my maid of honor. Her job was to reach out to every single person on the guest list and tell them of the venue change so that nobody showed up at the other venue. Yeah. Then I had to call the shuttle company or figure out how to get a hold of this shuttle company because I didn't have the actual number of the guy, I only had the shop.
You already told that part of the story?
Yes.
Well, that was fun, huh?
When I danced with death. And so I had to like let the shuttle company know that the wedding venue was gonna be it was just all
Can you remind me of
mess.
What was the distance between them? Is it like we are telling people to go a completely different direction? Like
no, it was very, very close. It was like
okay.
literally down the street, like super close. You know, the shuttle company now had to completely reroute everything. Actually, so the shuttle company wasn't gonna do the parking lot to the venue anymore, but I'm like, everyone is gonna have to be picked up at their hotels to go to the new venue because now this parking lot that we were supposed to use that was part of the other venue is no longer available to us. So no cars. So now I'm like, this is where this person is. So I had to make a spreadsheet for the shuttle company saying, this is how many people you're gonna have to pick up at this hotel. Make sure that there's this many people at this hotel. The planning. Oh my gosh. And my brain doesn't work that way. Doing the logistics like that was just insane. We're like, well, what can we do? The wedding venue is canceled. This is our only other option. It looks not great, but it's a venue. And we were just like, you know what?
That's a really good point that I don't know if you touched on this before, but yeah, like maybe in other circumstances, such as everybody coming to a particular wedding is local. Maybe you can truly put, a pause on the date and say, sorry everybody, but we have to like postpone, reschedule it up. But this was like, I can't remember what the final number was of folks from Canada, but it was 30 at least.
Yeah,
right? So
at
it's
least
like
30.
It's not.
And there's people coming from Portland. Like there were people coming from out of state.
From out of state, exactly.
And a lot of my family live in the Bay Area, and so even that trek from the Bay Area to Clear Lake, or Sacramento from Clear Lake, it was a far drive for everyone.
Yeah. So to your point, babe, like we just, it wasn't really feasible to actually not use that date. It had to be that date.
Yeah, it had to be that date.
It was 48 hours from the date. Like people would have clearly lost money on accommodations and stuff. Like they wouldn't be able to cancel certain reservations, blah, blah, blah. So because remember we had booked every hotel in the city, every hotel, motel, B&B, whatever. Yeah, right.
And I'm like, we can't cancel now. Like, there's no way. So we just decided, we're like, screw it. We're just gonna show up.
Yeah.
Show up, no plan. I had no idea what the layout was like, what the venue was like. I was like, we're just gonna show up and decorate. Mad anxiety going into it for sure, because this is our wedding, and I was really thinking that we were gonna be hosting a bunch of people in a shed. And I was stressed. We drive in the day before.
Yeah, we would have had one day to do prep work before that actual wedding day.
We drive in the day before, and we bring all of the people that had come in from Canada and then my immediate family, because we all had accommodations in Clear Lake the night before. And leading into, so we're driving, right? We're like going down this deserted path. We see this like shed. I'm like, that's it. That's our wedding. Every like shed or barn that we saw come up, we're like, oh my God, that's it. It looks so bad. And then like we would see that it's like further on the map, and we're like, oh thank God, like it's not that. So finally we arrive at the house. Was it not like a movie, driving into the property and seeing this beautiful country American home?
Like, wait, no, this could work. Like,
no, we were like freaking out in the car. Like I just got this feeling in my body where it was like, this is perfect. this, like I had goosebumps. I'm like, this is perfect. I was like welling up because it was just all of this anxiety for that 2 days of thinking that we were going to show up at this like barn. And I'm like, why didn't he send us photos of this? The drive into it. So this is our venue. This is the first thing you saw when you drove up to the house. And I was just like, this is gonna be the cutest wedding ever. Like, this is the cutest wedding. And so we get out, and keep in mind, we are the first wedding that this venue, or this now venue, had. And we met the owners, John, and I can't remember what his wife's name is.
Oh yeah,
but you guys, there was like a comfort about John. I just can't.
What a great man.
I cannot describe it. We got there, and immediately it was just instant love and comfort. And he's like, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna get this done. You're gonna have an amazing wedding. You can do whatever you want.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to remember back now. Like, if I remember correctly, Ken had said, and just the truth of the matter was, like, this place had been used for weddings before, but it was only within John's own family.
Yes, within John's own family,
so
not as like
we didn't have like a commercial package to be shown of what, you know, the photos would look like, or what it just looks like when it's in full wedding mode.
Literally
right?
all we had was the photos that Ken took on his Motorola Razr or whatever he took, because it was so bad. Oh my gosh. There's a baby. Hey.
This is an eventual byproduct of this story.
Yeah. So I'm actually just trimming. I'm doing like major root trimming. When I do a pond or soil to pond conversion, I like to remove a lot of the secondary roots because a lot of the time it doesn't make it. So, and I don't have as many leaves on it anymore, so I'm not worried. Okay, anyway, so again, instant comfort from John. He's just so welcoming. He's like, I cannot believe that this is happening to you guys, but like, I'm so honored to be a part of it. And he's like, I'm so happy you're here. My whole body just went from being tense to just, this is gonna work. This is actually gonna work. There is even better than the original venue. The original venue was nice, but this was like just, there was like a comfort about it. And the fact that we were on his property that he's had in his family for like generations. And it's like the cutest backyard. He had like the trees, and it was just, it was perfect. It was freaking perfect. So our people came together, and just like, we could not have done it like without my sister-in-law, without my sisters, my best friend. Like, everyone that was there was like, this is the plan. Everyone had something to do. It just came together. I felt almost no stress the day before. I was not even worried about decorations at this point. I didn't care. Like, honestly, I was drunk for like 48 hours leading up to this because I needed to calm myself. But I'm like, at this point, I don't even care what it looks like. Let's just have the wedding. So I really let my sister-in-law be in charge of like where everything was going. John was doing all the tables, and I was just kind of going along like, okay, whatever. And yeah, it just, everything turned out so amazing. And I'm not just saying this because it was our wedding. You can literally ask anybody that attended our wedding, and like across the board, everyone says that it's the best wedding they've ever been to.
We heard that so many times, which obviously, you know, we're biased. And
yeah, we are biased, but it's like, to this day, we hear it. Like, there has never been a wedding like your guys' wedding. And I don't know if it's because Mama.
That's your mama. We wish you could have been there, but that was many years ago.
I think just the circumstances of how it happened, and then being there and seeing how it all came together is just one thing. Because like, if I had shown up to this wedding and knew that the bride and groom had put this together in 48 hours, I would have been like, how?
Exactly.
Yeah, I just think it was the perfect wedding. Like, it was so unconventional. We just kind of did things the way we wanted to do it. The food was really good. I don't remember what the food was like, but I heard it was really good. Our bartenders, my sister's friends, they had to dip like, I don't know, they left at like 8. And so the bar was just open. Everybody was just like pouring their own drinks. It was like a house party. It was like a big house party. Vince got absolutely obliterated. I had never, ever, ever seen Vince like this before.
I had no intention of getting
No.
drunk at my own wedding,
Think
but
I just think you had a great time.
well, I just didn't eat enough. I remember just thinking it was
Yes,
just,
okay, I
wasn't
will
eating
say that
enough.
my day of coordinator, Nicole, God bless you, Nicole, one of her jobs was to make sure that I was drinking like every 10 minutes. Drinking water every 10 minutes and making sure that I had food in my stomach. So she was literally like shoving food down my throat. She was making me drink. I'm like, I don't want to drink this anymore, but she was like forcing it down my throat. And so I was pretty sober the entire time, but I'm glad I was because I feel like I got to enjoy everything. Like I saw how people were having such a good time. I remember so many of the small details. But anyway, Vince doesn't.
Unfortunately,
So
Vince didn't have a day of coordinator.
No.
To do the exact same sort of
I
health check.
should have said like, hey, can you make sure Vince is good too?
And so a tragic Vince quality is there's this mental block that exists in those scenarios, drinking with your family, where I truly, like the word no, it completely leaves my vocabulary. So every single shot, every single drink that anybody ever wanted to do with me that night, I never said no. All through the whole night, anytime anyone came up to me, said, let's take a shot, let's have a drink, like I literally took every single one of them.
And my family likes, they like to party.
Yeah, exactly. And I do too. So that's why I don't say no. But
I don't like
it was just such a bad idea, especially because I did not eat enough. Which is also tragic in and of itself because that means I didn't get to enjoy the food. The food was really good.
Okay, that was one thing I was not expecting, and I guess I can say this now because I'm not on good terms with the people who catered our wedding anymore, but there was drama with the caterers, and I remember walking into the bathroom inside the house and there was just crying, yelling. I was like, I'm not gonna ask. I'm just gonna go pee-pee and I'm gonna just skitter back out.
But even in spite of that,
everyone was like, dude, your food was so good. I was like, I wish I could tell you what it tasted like.
So like all good that it turned out fine. I just we didn't get to probably enjoy it as much as you would hope on your own wedding day. But so the end of my night ended with just complete and utter blackout. Like and apparently it was quite a scene even like the moment I actually blacked
I can
out.
tell the story.
Yeah.
So it's the
I don't remember it.
No, it's the very end of the night. It's me, my sister-in-law, and Vince inside of John's house. His house where they sleep and they rest and they pray and they be a family, where his kid plays on the floor. So we're talking, we're like, man, that like went off really well. She was asking like, do you guys need help bringing anything in cars? We're like, no, we're good because tomorrow we're coming back for cleanup. And we're all talking. Vince is part of this conversation. He's like, thank you so much for today. He's leaning against this rocking chair, and then all of a sudden, he's on the ground. I thought initially that, because he was leaning on this rocking chair, I thought that the rocking chair had just fallen and he just, fell. But no, he was just on the floor, just out. And then all of a sudden, projectile vomit, like from The Exorcist, all over my sister-in-law.
Oh no, I forgot about that.
And she was such an angel. She's like, oh, it's okay. I'm like, don't touch it. So then I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, we're in John's house. It's all over his living room floor. And I'm like, I need towels. Like, I need to clean this up before he comes in. As I'm saying this, he comes into the room from the kitchen, sees Vince on the floor with throw up everywhere, and he's just like this.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, this is bad. He's like, don't even worry about it. He's like, I'm so happy you guys had a good time. This was like the most incredible night of my life. It was just beautiful. And I'm gonna play you guys our wedding video after this, or maybe before the outro. I'm gonna have to edit it a little bit because I can't use the original audio, not the original audio, but the music that our videographer used. But yeah, he just completely blacked out and he had throw up all over his shirt. So we had to take his long sleeve off, or his button up off. Oh, by the way, I didn't even, so the day of the wedding, the shuttle shows up. We're getting ready at our like little villa thing. And I remember the moment my friend Ash, who was doing my hair, she's like, there's a shuttle outside. I was like, thank you, God. Like, because remember, we weren't sure if they were gonna show up. There was no contract, no deposit, no phone number, nothing. Just a hope and a dream that they were gonna show up. This dude rolled up with like 3 of his vans. He's like, let us know where we need to be. I was like, dude, you are such a gangster. Thank you so much. You just made my whole day. So anyway, the shuttle was there to take people back to their hotel at night because everyone got trashed. I wanted to make sure everyone got back safely. It was basically a rule that nobody was gonna drive home if you were gonna drink. So we take the last shuttle home and nothing seems out of the ordinary. It's me.
Pause.
Oh, okay. We take the last shuttle home. It's the guy that I originally met with, the guy that was super like, right? Nothing out of the ordinary, not that I could notice. We, John, me, and my sister-in-law all carry Vince into the van, okay? We carry him into the van. He's laying down horizontal in the van. We're driving. All of a sudden, didn't even know she was in the front seat. She had like this raspy voice. She was half naked. She was not very clothed. And she's like, oh, sweetie, the poor thing. Like, he looks like he's in a bad way. Oh, honey, it's gonna be okay. And I was like, who is this woman? And then I realized that she is
a lady of the night.
She's a lady of the night, okay? No judgment. We are inclusive. We love to see whatever you want to do, right? But it just freaked me out because she was in the van and I'm like, where did you come from? Where did he get?
Because I guess there would have been a number of hours between when the guys from the shuttle company needed to bring
lots of downtime.
Yeah, like I mean, essentially that's what it comes down to is we needed them to get folks there in whatever early afternoon.
Oh yeah, and what I forgot to say is that we booked a hotel for the shuttle guys too. Remember, we put them up at a hotel. We booked them 2 rooms because it was super far and we weren't gonna have them like drive home in the middle of the night. So, damn, we just freaking splurged on this wedding. So yeah, he had his own hotel. I'm sure he had his fun during the wedding because we didn't need them during the wedding. But yeah, he brought home a lady of the night. She was very nice, but it startled the crap out of me. The next thing on this shuttle ride home is that Vince, he went from bad to worse to worse to worstest.
So like one of my few actual memories from the point of, I mean, again, I blacked out at some point. Yeah, point of no return. I blacked out at some point at the venue. Like probably my very next memory of the night was, probably unbeknownst to me being in the back of the shuttle, but I just remember 2 things. A feeling of this belt is restricting me. It's restricting me in every way. So belt needs to come off. So belt starts coming off.
Bro,
and then
he was like, take my belt off, take my belt off. We took the belt off and he kept yelling, take my belt off. We're like, bro, we have the belt is here.
But then from that point, the other thing I distinctly remember is just like I was just wailing.
Oh, babe.
But it's weird because it's not like I was in, like I wouldn't have been in quote unquote physical pain, but the wailing was probably that of someone who's like
the wailing
has a gunshot or something.
No, I think it's because you were so nauseous. When you're, because you were projectile vomiting the rest of the night. We did not sleep together this night, not like that. We were laughing our asses off in the van. We were laughing so hard because the sounds he was making, it was not human. It was not human. I didn't even know that his voice could reach like that decibel. Like it was bad. I'm like, dude, if we weren't married, major ick. Major ick.
Understandably.
So anyway, we get back to our villa. The shuttle guy literally carries him into the villa, like plops him down on the couch. He started bringing him into the bedroom. I was like, nope, he's sleeping over there tonight. And that was the night. that was the entire night. It was beautiful. And then the next morning, he's like, my shirt stained. I'm like, you think? Because you bought that new.
Oh, like everything was brand. And I don't usually splurge on like dress clothes on a regular basis. So it's just sucked because I did for, you know, our own wedding. So tie could no longer be used. That dress shirt was beat to shit in a couple of different ways, actually.
Did you like throw it away?
I had to, yeah, because a couple different things. One, like again, some of the few memories of the night that I have, like, I don't know if you remember this, but at some point, so just before like ceremony began, but people coming in, like guests arriving at the venue, at some point someone clearly had given me a hug. Oh, and so just for those of you having not seen what I was wearing, I didn't wear, because this was in this middle of summer in California, I didn't wear a jacket. It was just a white dress shirt basically. And so some guest, you know, coming to say hi at some point to me, gave me a hug, and their freaking lipstick got on my white ass shirt. And so I can't remember who it was, one of your bridesmaids.
And like probably like foundation and.
Exactly, like if there was a rush to like find some kind of cleaning product, something to get that, you know, off. So I remember that being one thing that kind of, there was a stain on the shirt, so that was one thing. And then also like my boutonniere, whatever you call it, being pinned, it like, there's like a clear hole right through the shirt, right, from the pin. So there's that. And then by the end of the night, vomit. So I'm like, yeah, this shirt does not exist to me anymore. It was gone, and it was an expensive shirt.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Goodness.
I also forgot to mention, when we found out that the venue was canceled, literally like an hour after this email came in, I had a scheduled manicure appointment. And I was at this mani appointment just sobbing. I was sobbing. I think that's when it really hit me. And I just feel so bad for the tech that was doing my nails, because she looked so like, she didn't know what to say. She didn't know what to do to like comfort me. And she kept asking about like, what color do you want? What finish do you want? And I couldn't think. I was like, just do anything. And I wasn't even watching her. I wasn't watching her do my nails. I was just like on my phone trying to do like damage control and stuff. And I was like sobbing uncontrollably. I remember leaving the nail appointment and being in the parking lot, looking at my fingers and toes and basically seeing hot pink.
Oh, no.
I thought maybe it was red, like a deep dark red, which I would have been fine with, but it was like hot pink. And I just, more tears. And my sister was like, we can fix it. I'm like, it's gel! With gel, you basically have to like chisel it off.
Oh, no.
It's not, you can't just put like solution and it'll come off.
So what did you do?
I had hot pink nails for the wedding.
Seriously? I totally forgot that little detail.
In pictures, it looks like a bright red, but it's like a hot cherry, like pink color. It was so ugly.
Hot cherry for a hot tamale.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, that was our dream disaster wedding. I feel like I'm missing, okay, I do want to touch on the aftermath and like, did we try and sue the venue? Did we get a refund? We got credit, I believe. I think he might have refunded us
back,
like $800.
Yeah, it was something, but it was obviously nowhere
near what we paid
remote
for.
Ballpark of how much extra we had to pay.
Yeah, because mind you, we paid for this like package that we paid for was for lodging for the entire week, utilities for the week, the venue itself for the wedding day, the shuttle service. So we paid for that whole package. And then when it got canceled, we spent like $10K on lodging, a new shuttle service. Everything was brand new. And then we got like $700 back or something. So we like grossly overpaid for the venue, but it's like, we weren't trying to like ruin his life. His life had already been ruined by the person that was in charge of whatever, like his business that he's had for, I don't know how long he had it, but it was gone. But then it was weird because very shortly after, he kept saying, I'm opening a venue in Hawaii and I can offer you guys an all-inclusive stay for like 5 days. We were like, okay, that sounds great, but if you have the money to open this brand new venue in Hawaii, why can't you like offer us more of a refund to like offset the cost of this disaster? It was just so weird, but we just decided like he already has probably lost sleep and hair and like spiraled, like gone into like depression over this. Is it even worth a couple $1,000s to like try and fight it? So
well, yeah, especially considering a couple things. One way or the other, it would have cost us something to
lawyer
retain a
up.
lawyer and sue them. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, like, end of the day, yes, it was a lot of undue stress on us and cost for sure.
yeah.
But, you know, look at us. We're talking about this now 8 years later, and yes, it was crazy and stressful, but like Charmaine said, it was perfect in the end at the end of the day.
It was so perfect.
Maybe, actually not even maybe, had it not been that, had it been a disaster wedding at the end of the day,
Yeah.
then I'm sure we would have felt, no, we are absolutely pursuing this to
yeah.
the fullest extent we can. But knowing that it was,
Yeah, we were just trying to see it from like the glass half full. It's like, yeah, we had spent all this money that we didn't want to spend. We were paying off credit cards for years. I feel like it took us a long time to like pay off what we had spent. But that was like the best night ever. He helped how he could. He set us up with the new venue. Venue ended up being better. He hauled all of the tables from his venue to the new venue just to make sure that we didn't have to worry about tables and chairs. Like he did all of that for us. So
that's a good point. A lot of people probably, apart, like, I mean, that was a great thing for him to do, but maybe some other people in that position would have chose not to do that because he had to show face. He had to be there while we were
like
at John's ranch, doing what we had to do within 24 hours to get, you know, the place set up. And yeah, he came by and rolled in those tables. And
yeah,
so,
I didn't really talk to him though.
No, I mean, obviously
I feel like he was
so
just like wanting to set up and get out of there because I'm sure he didn't want to have uncomfortable conversations. But honestly, I was chilling. We were drinking, having a good time. I wasn't trying to like be confrontational with him.
But you know, I guess it just goes to show that as far as us ultimately not deciding that we needed to like go farther with like any litigation or sue him or anything, it was like, yeah, what your point was just a second ago, is he did everything that he reasonably could. As far as we could tell, he didn't do anything to bring this upon himself. Now, we never heard the side of the story from the county who pulled his licenses and stuff, but like, as far as we could tell, mostly what he was saying was the truth. So if so, yeah, like you said, that's someone whose whole business had just been, you know, rug pulled from him. So
I mean, yeah, if anything, I felt bad for him. And think about the stress he was going through with us. He had weddings booked before, every weekend before us and after. So he wasn't only dealing with me, he was dealing with multiple people getting married. And so I just can't imagine like the stress that like he must have been under. Like it turned out honestly really well. Everybody that stayed at the hotels said that they had like a really great time. I'll throw in like some pictures of like the little town. Me and Vince didn't get to enjoy it because we were doing wedding stuff. The day before, like a bunch of our friends had gone to the lake, they rented a boat, and then they went into like a little town after and had dinner. And it just like looked really fun. And my sister had stayed at a little like B&B place, and she was like, that was the cutest hotel we've ever stayed at. It was so adorable. And yeah, overall, I just think that it just fell into place, and it was like amazing. So anyway, thank you, Vince, for being a part of this last part. I'm either gonna play you guys our actual wedding video that was put together by our videographer, or I will try and piece together little parts for you. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do yet, so I will roll it for you now. This was our wedding.
everyone. Families and friends of Vincent and Charmaine. I just need a moment. Hold on. Thank you for joining us today at Twin Fir Ranch. I know it's different than initially expected, but it's beautiful and it's a beautiful day. But we're all here to celebrate the love of this very beautiful and quirky couple that we all love so much. Like creating characters and talking to each other in their strange accents, bursting into dance parties, sometimes with no music for uncomfortably long periods of time, that could not be any more transparent. And they created this love and this marriage that just simply works, as eccentric and unconventional as it is. I'm sorry, everyone can sit down.
I was like, what should I
No. No, for the record, no.
I just realized. Oh my god, everyone's standing up.
I'm sorry.
Vince, when I first met you, I was still pretty intoxicated from the sleeping pill Auntie Jennifer gave me for a 30-minute flight to Vegas. She's right there, everyone. I think I need a drink.
Bartender!
Granted, if the rest of lives is anything like the last 3 weeks planning this freaking wedding, we may die of stress within the year. But even if we do, I'll go with a smile on my face because I'll be with you. I promise to wear it as a reminder.
Of my eternal and unconditional love for you.
Say that again.
Okay. I promise to wear it as a reminder of my eternal and unconditional love for you.
I promise to wear as a eternal reminder and stuff.
What he means to say is of his eternal and an unconditional love for you. Okay. So now, by the presence that someone vested in me, the internet, it is my honor and most sincere delight to declare you still husband and wife. Meet the Veronas.
Folks, I cannot tell you, like 3 days ago, I got a call from Ken, and Ken is like, do you have anything going on this weekend? I said, no, I don't have anything going on this weekend. He said, do you want to have something going on this weekend? And I said, I would love to have something going on this weekend. And I cannot tell you guys how happy I am to be a part of this, because this family is the most amazing family. And now, mind you, last summer I had 3 weddings, all of them family. And the level of participation and work that I have seen in the past 2 days for this wedding, in all 3 of them, hasn't touched what you guys have done for these 2. It's just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And it's a testament to the family that you guys are. So thank you for letting me be a part of that. Thank you for coming into this home, and you will all, as well as these two beautiful people right here, be a part of this home forever. Okay? It's this home has been in my family for 155 years, and I cannot tell you how proud I am to take these two names and add them to my family Bible, because we have a family Bible that's been in our family for over 155 years, and these two names will be added to our Bible. Okay? But it really is a testament how beautiful you guys are. These two right here are a product of all of you, every single one of you. And it's because you guys are such beautiful people that they are such beautiful people. And I thank you so much for letting us be a part of this, because I feel like a better person for having be a part of this. Thank you.
Pally is done. Honestly, I am feeling good about this transition. I do think it's probably going to go into a little bit of stress or shock because I heavily root trimmed. I removed all of those secondary roots, and it also went through a conversion from soil to pond. So it is, it's gone through a lot in the last little bit, but hopefully, all is well in the next few weeks in terms of transitioning. I am going to chop this little worm. Look at this little worm. I should be able to get maybe four solid plants. Okay, it doesn't want to focus. I should be able to get like 4 solid plants from this. Oh, is it this? Oh, here. Okay, it's not alcohol, it's hydrogen peroxide, but should be fine. It's better than nothing. I'm just gonna clean these really quick. I don't know what I'm gonna propagate this in. Probably moss would be the best. I could also do perlite. So I can't see, actually I can see a bunch of axillary buds, but I'm not gonna worry too much. I'm just gonna see how I can evenly cut this. I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 5 little turd nuggets here. That would be so cool if I can get clones of this narrow pally, because I did self it and some people have been showing me their seedlings and they're really skinny and cute. I don't know if they're gonna be as skinny as this. You can't ever really guarantee with a self plant, but these should be as skinny. So let's see what I can propagate in. I wanna dip these into rooting hormone. I don't know if it's gonna do anything, but so this is the Wilson's rooting stimulator, liquid root stimulator. And I'm just gonna plop it over like that. I'm dipping the entire thing. I think this one is an antifungal too, which I have found to be like pretty helpful in like keeping it healthy. I've never propagated this pally before, so I don't know how quick or how slow it's gonna be. And then I'm just gonna stick this in a prop box. Okay friends, that is it for me today. I have been recording for almost 2 hours. My voice is shot, but I'm so happy that I got to share this story with you. If you have any traumatic wedding stories, I would love to hear about it. You know, as stressful as it was, as much as everything went wrong, I am so glad that we did it, no matter how much it cost us in the end. But in the next lifetime, definitely eloping for sure. Anyway, that's gonna be it from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's story time and repot. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one.